Hi. So I said I would do a quick version of if you have any spirit attachments. It's happening more and more. I'm in all these groups and everyone's talking about it's happening. I was giving guidance that this is occurring at a much higher pace. Remember, this is spiritual warfare. We're in the ascension process. They want as many people of us not to ascend as possible. And when you get in a spiritual attachment, it really brings your spirits down low so that you can't see the light. You have belief, you have fear, and all of those things make you more easily controllable as well as low vibrational, so you won't ascend as well. You got to understand this is spiritual warfare. You not being aware of it does not mean that you are not being a pawn in the game, right? So it's play or be played. So I will do this quick rundown. You can watch my other video where I go into the story of what I learned and everything I did. But I'm going to make this really quick for those who just had this happen and just need a 5-minute overview. So in general, your biggest thing that's going to help you is cleansing and raising your vibration and staying calm. So stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. A few of the things that I tried that were really effective, and I tried all these things and found out there were more that were more effective than others. One, take a spiritual bath, put the salt in it. You can put anything else that you want. And if you're religious, say your prayer, say your psalms, and say, I am powerful being. I can remove this thing. I am cleansed. My vibration is high. Or you can say your psalms, or you can say your prayer about defeating any enemy that comes against you, and that you are fully protected and a woman of God. In my case, I just cleansed my aura and vibration without necessarily saying that, but I just said I am a powerful being of light, and I easily remove any and all entities attached to me. So the spiritual baths I took like every day for like 3 days while this occurred, and that was really, really big. As far as incense or sage that you can burn, I didn't do sage. I did do dragon's blood incense. That was very powerful. Like the entity was like, bye. Now it came back after it dissipated, but it was like a really good start, and it just did the other thing of raising my vibration so that it couldn't attach as strongly as it could before. Also, I had sandalwood, the herb that I ground up, and that also was very, very, very powerful. Sandalwood is in basically all the herbs in like the Indian temples in Nag Champa that they use, and they use it in the temples, but it does remove and clear out any entities or spirits that shouldn't be there. So that's as far as the physical things outside of you. Also, you can burn a white candle and have on it, I am fully protected by God and my angels, or I am always fully protected and supported. And what that's doing is you're saying that, hey, spirit, God, spirit guides, angels, come in and help me with this. You're saying, please do that. Also, San Cipriano, I researched this, and he's actually a saint, a deity, who will help remove it. So actually, he was like lifting the thing off me when I was like picturing this thing being removed. So that worked as well. Also, you can pray to God for it, but when I pray to God, the guidance I got from God was to send love to it. And I did. And then when I asked later, because I'm a channeler, what that did, they said it actually made him more amenable to you. Okay. Now the other things that you can do, so your vibration raise. Now I put a cleansing and vibration raising healing on my YouTube channel, so you can listen to these things in the background. You can listen to my healings in the background, and you won't get like 100%, but you'll get like 50%, and you can play that all day on repeat. Okay, just let it play. I'm not really talking during it. Maybe just one time because this guy likes the energy, and he was like all over my hands. But keep doing that all day. So what that does is just helps cleanse and raise. And the higher your vibration, the more they can't. It's not easy for them to attach. You know, the signal is getting fainter and fainter. One thing I did learn was when I calmed down and didn't panic, I got everything I needed on what to do next. So, and then now we're going to come to the visualization part. I finally got an idea. Like, Lisa, if you can channel and do all these things with just the thought, you should be able to remove this thing with just the thought. And this is going to look different for you, but for me, I pictured like a high vibrational force field that went over my body and captured this thing that was like attached to me on my back. And it was in this like bubble, this force field that I pictured in my hand. And then it stayed there. And then I programmed, like I see myself like programming this force field, like you don't come out until you're of divine love and light. And then I gave it off to like this rag doll that I picture in my head, because it's just from a long time ago. I used a rag doll, get rid of images in my head. I gave it to them and I was like, take this to a black hole. So I literally pictured a black hole, pictured her throwing it into the black hole, it going there and disappearing to another dimension where they could not come back. And then I did it a few more times because I just felt some energy. I feel energy. And I'm like, it just felt a little off. So I did it again. I did it like 3 more times and got rid of it. And then I felt normal. And then, of course, I did my cleansing, my protection, my prayers. Now, I had the benefit of being a channeler and medium. Like, a lot of people stepped forward for me, and I tell you about that in the longer video. But not everyone has that. So stay calm. And if you have time, watch the other video while the one of the cleansing and raising the vibrations playing in the background. So in general, do the spiritual baths each day. Have that candle of divine support. If you're religious, call on your angels, archangels, and saints. If you're not religious, you can still say I'm fully supported by my spirit guides and my angels all the time. Against any enemy, against any beings, whatever you can do that, but you're invoking more help to come in for you. And then you can use the power of your visualization until you feel it's all gone and all clean. Like removing. Like I pictured a force field, but I also could have pictured like a lasso. I picture gold, but like you can do whatever you want. You can picture spikes going into it. You can picture whatever you want, freezing it and then letting the pieces fall, and picking up the pieces. And your mind isn't just something where what you think doesn't matter. It does matter. It's very powerful on the spiritual plane. Your mind is your weapon, and you can use it accordingly. Okay. So, that's quick, down and dirty. Cleanse your energy, raise your vibration, take your spiritual baths, because water and salt is very cleansing, as you know. That's why we get baptized in the water. Like that's a holdover from the knowledge of how strong it is to our soul. And we're 70% water. Remember that. Dragon's blood and sandalwood. I did a lot of different incense and sage, but those were the 2 that got rid of it. Like it would come back slightly, but it couldn't stay as long, right? Because my vibration was high and it had run away, and I was cleansing my vibration. You can do candles, so, and if it's a negative being, now I'm going to get a little bit more into the defensive magic part. So this one was negative, and I noticed with the series of events, and I knew that it was a being attached to me, but you got to understand, as a medium, I'm used to different spiritual beings, like being around. They don't attach unless I ask and I call the space. So that's why I knew this was a little off. But it was a series of bad events. So I actually burnt a bay leaf, and I had to learn the hard way that first do a return to sender type incantation, where it's, hey, whatever they send to you gets returned threefold. So that way, if they send any negative energy, it goes right back to them, right? Like return to sender. And you do that so that it won't harm you. And then on top of that, I burned a bay leaf with the intention that it was really confused and it really wanted to leave, and it volunteered to leave. So I was like helping with the mental of this being, like this low vibrational being wants to leave right now, urgently. And so that in itself was working on that aspect, returned to sender, which I learned, and I tell you about in the other one, how I learned about that. Like, you need to do that first because they can get mad if you try to confuse them. All of those things. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, that is it in a nutshell, because you're probably freaking out. So calm down, take a bath, raise your vibration, get to going. You don't have to be scared. You can do this by yourself, okay? Of course, if you feel the need, you can reach out, and I definitely can do a consultation that'll be a little bit more involved and in depth. But if you can't get access to me for 3 or 4 days, you can do this in the meantime and go a long way towards cleansing your energy to a point where it just doesn't want to stay. And I'm gonna tell you this, my healings are very powerful. Okay, so they're not gonna want to stay long. So you do mine, you do the dragon's blood, or you do the sandalwood, and you can get that off Etsy. Just look for a vendor who lives in the same state as you. It'll be there the next day. You can go to the dollar store and get a 7-day white candle, and you can just burn those, right? You can write, send Cipriano, help me out with this. Archangel Michael, help me with this. I actually did a candle, a red candle with Archangel Michael for this as well. I invoked everybody, so I was so irritated. I was a little pissed off, but whatever. So that is what you can do on your own while you're trying to figure out if there's an energy healer with you. If you look at my other video when I was talking about it, the two people who watched it, who was on my live with me, they were like, "Oh my goodness, like that happened to me too." And I got an energy healer to help me remove it. They were, but like it's very obvious and it's happening right now. They're trying to get as many as possible not to ascend, but we're not going to go quietly into the good night. All right. So hope this is helpful, and bye.